10 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Clare Mackintosh is on the phone. She's the author of a book called After the End. It's a novel, but I think there's more to it than just the storyline in the book. Clare is the patron of the Silver Star Society, which is an Oxford-based charity that provides special care for mothers with medical complications during pregnancy. Her marriage survived the loss of their son. She's the founder of the Chipping Norton Literary Festival and a New York Times bestselling author, of course. After the End, parts of this novel are based on Clare's own life, it says here. Clare Mackintosh, good morning. Thank you for being on the show with us today.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
And where are you?
I am sitting in a very sunny office looking out onto an English country garden in Oxfordshire.
So it sounds like you've already got a story to tell us that is true, but this is a novel. Is it a novel for a reason? Did you decide to write a fictional story based on truth for a reason?
It is, yes. There is a very good reason why it's a novel. So 12 years ago, I was spending a long time in intensive care with my husband and our critically ill son. He'd suffered a brain hemorrhage after contracting meningitis, and he was left profoundly disabled. And we were spoken to by the consultant, who said, "I'm really sorry, we want you to make a decision. We think that you need to decide now whether you want your son to continue having treatment or whether you should remove him from intensive care and let him die." And as you can imagine, it was the most horrific choice to be presented with. And I asked the doctor what would happen if we didn't agree, because like most couples, we disagreed on all sorts of things, and they'd never really mattered before. But here was something that mattered more than anything else in the world. And she said, "You have to agree, because the alternative is unthinkable." And when I came to write a book, and I wanted to draw on this terrible time that we'd experienced, I kept thinking about what that doctor said. And so After the End is a novel about the unthinkable. It's about a couple, Pip and Max, who are faced with the same decision that my husband and I had to make, but with one big difference: they don't agree.
Ah, okay, yeah, that is a big difference. What in the real world, in your real life, what is there something after the end that you can share with us that led to the title?
The title came from my realization that we all have decisions that we make in life all the time, and sometimes they're as life-changing as the decision that I had to make and that Pip and Max make in the book. And sometimes it's something more innocuous, like whether you move state or take a job or get married. But they change our lives. And what I've realized over the last 12 years since my son died is that whichever path you take, however awful it seems at the start, however much it feels like the end, it's really just another beginning, and there's always more life after the end.
You had to formulate the personalities of each of the characters. How did you manage to keep one personality separate from the other, because they are two separate entities?
They absolutely are, and that's a really good question. I spent a really long time working on character, which was something that was quite different from the way that I write my psychological thrillers, where I'm really focusing my planning on the plot. So this time, before I even started writing, I spent a long time walking and swimming, thinking about Pip and Max, who they were, where they came from. Pip is British, Max is American, he's from Chicago. I thought about their families, what shaped their values, and therefore what would shape their decision-making and the way they react to grief. And then I started writing, and unusually for me, I normally write in sequence, chapter 1, chapter 2, and so on. But actually this time I wrote Pip's story, and then I wrote Max's story. So I immersed myself in their world for as long as it took to tell their story.
And I hope I'm not asking you something that will be a spoiler. If I am, then just we won't go there. But the fact that they disagree, one of them has to live with the inevitable anyway, right?
Well, so we're sort of skirting around a really important part of the novel, and I don't think it is a spoiler to talk about it. The novel looks at two different outcomes. So there is a sliding doors element to this novel, which means that nothing actually is inevitable. We follow Max's future if the court rules in his favour, because ultimately when parents disagree on something as fundamental as this, it's the legal framework that has to step in and make that decision. But we also follow Pip's future if the court rules in her favour. And so we follow two different paths, and it's a structure that is inspired by a poem by Robert Frost that I've always loved, called The Road Not Taken, and he talks about standing in a yellow wood looking down two different paths trying to decide which one to take, and he talks about how he wishes he could see what's at the end so that he knows which one to take. And that's something that I think we all do when we're making decisions. We try and look to the end of each road, but ultimately all we can do is hope that we've made the right choice and taken the right path.
And when you finished your book and it was out there for all of the readers to read, what did they write you to let you know what impact that your words had on their lives?
Yes, I've been very moved by the messages that I've had from all around the world, from people who have perhaps made a similar decision, either about a child or another loved one, an elderly person or a profoundly disabled adult who doesn't have a voice of their own and has to rely on other people. But also decisions that people have made about other parts of their life, whether they stay in a marriage or not, whether they take a job or not. And I hope that it's a novel that will provoke a lot of discussion about how we make decisions and where they lead us.
Is there a supernatural element to the book, to the story?
I wouldn't call it supernatural, no. I would call it speculative, I suppose. What it does is it enables us to travel two paths simultaneously.
Okay. The book is called After the End. It's written by Clare Mackintosh. I found it on Amazon. You're getting really good reviews on Amazon. I guess you know that. The book is only 3 days old, doing really well. It's already number 57 in occult fiction. Maybe the word occult is what got me wondering about that supernatural.
I think maybe that might be a little bit misleading, but obviously delighted that it's charting in a genre that it probably doesn't belong in.
But it is.
But it has had some amazing reviews, which is fantastic.
Good reviews, and also it's doing really well in the mothers and children fiction, which is probably a more accurate category. Thank you for being on the air with us today. Do you have a website you'd like to tell us about?
Yeah, I'd love to people to come and find me at ClareMackintosh.com. I run a monthly book club, so if people are looking for book recommendations, they can hop on down and sign up for my book club.
All right, Clare Mackintosh, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We'll be right back. Time Out Billiards and Grill. That's right, Billiards and Grill. Located on Pine between the police department and Rawhide in Ocala. Come in and enjoy some great food from the grill 12 till 8 p.m. Then shoot some pool anytime from 12 noon till 2 a.m. Time Out Billiards and Grill even has happy hour from 2 till 7 p.m. There's more fun on weekdays, Monday to Friday. It's free pool for everyone from noon till 4 p.m. Time Out Billiards and Grill. Questions? Call 352-444-POOL.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents and Doug.
Limu, there's a woman threatening to sign up for generic car insurance. Grab your birdseed and let's go.
I'm going to sign these papers right here, right now.
Ma'am, drop the pen. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Thanks, Limu, Emu, and Doug.
Don't thank us, thank Liberty Mutual. But also thank us.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
With the Discover It Miles card, you can go further than you've ever gone before. Like sun on your face, book in your hand, kids playing in the sand further. Because the Discover It Miles card offers unlimited 1.5 miles on every purchase and will automatically match all the miles you earn at the end of your first year. So that means your 35,000 miles could become 70,000. It's just that easy. So get out there with your Discover It Miles card today. Limitations apply. Discover match for new card members only. Learn more at discover.com/travel.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. Florida's texting while driving law will go into effect on Monday, July 1st. Florida Highway Patrol will conduct an education period from July 1st through December 31st and give drivers a warning. Starting January 1st, drivers texting while driving will face fines of $30 to $100. A corrections officer was seriously injured after 2 inmates stabbed him at the Mayo Correctional Institution Annex. The officer was taken to a hospital and released. New York City Mayor and presidential candidate Bill de Blasio shouted a Spanish slogan associated with Cuba's communist revolution yesterday, drawing criticism. An 18-year-old man has been arrested after he drugged and sexually assaulted a 15-year-old girl and posted a naked video of her on Instagram. A plan to build a road extension in Lake County was unveiled last night. The toll road will connect State Road 429 with US 27 south of Claremont. And Busch Gardens will celebrate 4th of July with fireworks and concerts for 4 days from July 4th through July 7th. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Times of sun and clouds on this Friday. There can be a shower or thunderstorm around during the afternoon hours with a high of 88 at the coast, 93 inland. For Friday night, partly to mostly cloudy. Watch out for a thunderstorm. The overnight low 74 to 78. Saturday, times of sun and clouds. A shower or thunderstorm likely, especially in the afternoon. The high 84 to 88. For Sunday, more clouds than sun with a shower and thunderstorm or two. The high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hello, this is Dusty Travis. Please join us for This Week in Real Estate every Thursday at 10:05 a.m. We'll be taking your live calls, answering questions about buying real estate, selling real estate, the mortgage process, about getting a home loan, and how easy that process has become. We look forward to hearing from you.
Adrian, how you doing?
Oh, fine, Adrian. How's it going?
You do your best to protect your loved ones, and while you may keep a
excellent.
fresh
Thank you
battery
so
in your
much
smoke
for-
detector and have a reliable home security system, there is a whole different type of protection you may be missing. A life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance is a way to safeguard your loved ones now and in the future. Meet with your local independent agent and secure a policy today to protect their tomorrows. Visit George Mangan Insurance in Ocala today at manganinsurance.com. Wow. That's pretty upbeat bumper music there, Robin.
Yeah, I love it.
Makes you want to dance.
Yeah.
Makes you want to get your feet moving. If your feet aren't moving the way they should be moving, you might want to listen to this next interview. Dr. Doug Tumen is on the phone. He's a board-certified podiatrist, more than 35 years, an avid fitness enthusiast. He's probably dancing right now. He's the honorary chairman of the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation Walkathon, the race director for 5 Kingston Classic 10K races, the recipient of the Pride of Ulster County Award, and the founder of the Hudson Valley Foot Associates. Wow. Ask the Foot Doctor is his book. Let's find out about this book and how it can help you move your feet a little bit better, right? Dr. Tumen, good morning, sir. It's an honor to have you on the show.
Good morning, Larry Whittler. I love that music. Is that your music?
That wasn't mine. No, it just popped on. You never know what kind of bumper music we're going to have on the show.
I was dancing. That might share you.
Yeah, I would have picked Happy Feet, but I think Red. What do you call YouTube will red flag it. Yeah, they don't like when you do copyrighted stuff. So I don't know how that works. We just do a show. So where are you? Where are you calling from?
Woodstock, New York.
Woodstock.
Nice.
Oh man, are you a hippie? I want to be I want to be a hippie. I want to go back in.
Plenty of them left over in town.
Hey, I have a question that we can actually use that as a connecting point. In that era, that whole scene, it looked like a lot of people were walking around barefoot in the mud, and I've heard that that's actually healthy for you. Is that true?
If you can find the mud. 1969 mud, that would be great. Here's the thing about bare feet, Larry and Robin. Bare feet is great if you're on the beach or if you're on the grass, but not so much on the concrete. And we live in this concrete jungle of a world.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, you're stepping on something. So where you can be barefoot, if you have good feet, it's great. If your feet hurt, it's not so great.
And in Florida, we do have a lot of beaches, and the sand it usually feels good. It usually feels really good when you're walking on that sand, doesn't it? Does it cut the? They say it'll help bring the what do you call the calluses down. It says, is that true?
It does. Yeah, it's a little abrasion and it's comfortable, and it will minimize calluses if you walk on the beach. And a lot of people do. You're so fortunate to be in beautiful Florida that you can walk on the beach. And just a couple of tips: if you're walking on the beach, just make sure you're walking on the even surface of the beach. Sometimes it's canted downwards, and that can cause a little challenge. And just make sure that if you're diabetic or if you have poor circulation, that you're better off wearing something to protect your feet from getting a little abrasion or something inside your foot.
Sometimes people will twist their ankles and they won't go to a doctor. They'll try to take care of it themselves, and it might be something worse.
You're so right, Robin. There's an old saying that we have that a sprain can be worse than a break. And the reason for that is usually if it's bad enough to be a break, you go to the doctor and the emergency and they diagnose the break and you get treated. If you just sprain your ankle, yeah, I'll take care of it. It'll get better. And then unfortunately, you have ligaments, and there's 109 ligaments in your foot alone, and you might have torn or sprained or stretched them out, and they don't get treated, and then you can have problems from that. Absolutely.
Well, you also touch on arthritic feet because of the lives of seniors.
It's so challenging. As we go through life, we get arthritis in our bodies in different places. But where do you get arthritis? You get arthritis in joints. That's basically what happens. It's narrowing of the joint spaces and bone to bone, which is why we replace knees and hips with new joints. But the foot has 33 joints on each foot, and if just one of them becomes arthritic, like your big toe joint, that can make your foot really painful and make it difficult to maintain your activity level. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong with a foot, which is why we are so busy. That's why I wanted to write the book, is to have people to be able to learn what you can do at home, Larry and Robin, what you can do to make it better, what are the remedies that you can safely do. And also, when might it be time to pick up the phone and go to the podiatrist? And what things might you have done by a professional that you can't do for yourself? And those things are detailed in the book. And what I did is, over my 35 years of treating tens of thousands of patients, I took 210 of the most common questions that I've gotten day in, day out. And I've given everybody the best answers. And they're simple answers, but then we can really go into detail after the simple answers on what you can do about those questions. So you're educated. Everybody knows, if you got some knowledge, you can take care of yourself.
So the one thing I was thinking as I was looking through the book, I was looking and noticing that there's a lot of different thoughts on different conditions we might have. So the person who picks up the book might have one of those conditions. Do you give advice on like maintenance to prevent those conditions?
Yes, Larry, we absolutely do. Because that's one of the things I want people to be able to do is have maintenance. So it could be simple advice that we give in the book on stretching, simple advice on getting the right shoes for your foot, simple advice on daily hygiene to prevent fungus, or if you're a woman, advice to prevent fungus toenails from those pedicures that can potentially cause fungus in the toenails, how to prevent bunions from getting bigger. So yeah, that's what I want to do. If I can help anybody prevent a foot problem, it thrills me. It's just, I want to keep people moving. I want to keep people happy. And you've probably heard this, Larry and Robin, when your feet hurt, you hurt all over. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to hurt. Your feet don't have to hurt. They can be made to be comfortable for most people.
I have a question for you. Now, this was based on something with my mom, but my mom's been gone for a while now. But while she was alive, she was having some foot issues, and there was a doctor who wanted to order her some inserts for her shoes, and they were like $1,000. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't want to do it. She said, "No, I'll just get Dr. Scholl's," and she put those. She said, "It works. It's fine." And so, what is the? I mean, you always hear you get what you pay for. I think Dr. Scholl's was less than $10. And this other thing, I can't remember what the guy was calling it, but she stood on this device that measured all the contours of her feet, and it looked really impressive, but it was not cheap. What is the truth about those things?
Well, well, first of all, the average cost for a custom-made foot orthotic in all areas, all across the country, is well under $500. So wherever she went that time, that was an excessive price,
okay,
for sure. However, sometimes, and I've been doing this for 35 years, and I can't do it with Dr. Scholl's for the average person because no two feet are the same, and everybody has a different problem, and sometimes the challenge that you have needs a customized solution. So sometimes the only way we can get rid of a painful callus or protect the foot from rolling in is to build it to the exact prescription of somebody's foot, and they work beautifully. If someone has insurance, it could be covered, or if somebody has a problem that needs it, that is certainly something that can help. But you always start off with something inexpensive, Larry, and if that doesn't work, you move up the ladder.
Okay, yeah, and I'm glad to hear you say that, actually, because I kind of like the guy. I just couldn't figure out the price. It just seemed high, and you say, it sounds like it is high, but even $500 seems high.
Yeah. I do want to
these days, right?
I do want to interject real quickly that some of your proceeds fund the organization Shoes That Fit. That's pretty impressive.
Robin, thank you for mentioning that. And if I could just talk about that organization for a second, they've helped over 1 million children get brand new shoes for school so they can participate in activities. And every year they're helping over 120 to 130,000 children. There's such need for shoes that fit. So that organization is called shoesthatfit.org, and proceeds of the book are being shared with them. And we're hoping to create a lot of help for kids across the country that need good, well-fitting sneakers.
Yeah, we take foot health for granted. We take shoes for granted, is what I should have said. Ask the Foot Doctor is the name of the book. I have a copy of the book by Dr. Doug Tumen. If you would like the copy that was sent to me, call 622-9622. We'll pick one caller and leave it for you at random. Pick the call at random and leave it for you here at the station. I'll get it out. Doctor, do you have a website? I found you on Amazon. You're getting really good reviews, by the way. Do you have a different website?
I do, Larry. It's the name of the book.com, askthefootdoctor.com. And if somebody goes to the website, number one, you're going to get some really great information. Every Friday we have Friday Foot Facts. It's a video I put out and lots of other great tips. But if you just put in your name and email, we're going to send you best tips on how to start a walking program, fun foot facts, and even the first couple of chapters of the book. But also, Larry and Robin, if somebody has a question, they can ask it on the website. So we will get back to them and help them get their questions answered, because this book is really the beginning of a relationship that I want to communicate with people. People need advice, they need help, and we want to be a resource that people can come to with questions about their foot. Hence, ask the foot doctor.
Very good. Dr. Tumen, thank you for being on the show with us today.
Thank you so much, Larry and Robin. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. We'll be right back.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your